Hiya, my name's Angie Sowton. I work as part of the therapeutic team at Twerton. I work with Miss Langan and Amy Tidswell and all the teachers across the school, just with kids who are struggling, finding things hard for all sorts of reasons. But at the moment, as we're all struggling and finding things hard and we're not in school, we thought we'd make a couple of videos that might help with kids who are having maybe a bit of increased anxiety in some ways, or if they're finding things a bit scary at the moment, and ways of coping with behaviours that you might have seen a bit more of at home, maybe crying, sort of concentration, lack of concentration, being a bit more physical at home, all these things. So what we've done is we've got a Loom video of a story called Alex and the Scary Things. And Alex and the Scary Things explains all different ways Alex feels when he feels scared. So, for example, he feels a bit spaced out sometimes, daydreaming, can't concentrate. He becomes the destroyer sometimes, gets really angry, physical and lashes out. He gets these puddles where he gets really sad and upset, and sometimes he understands why and sometimes he doesn't. And there's also muddles where it's a sort of overwhelmed feeling, too many sights and sounds and smells. And then there's scribbles, which is Alex when he just wants to get it all out on paper and scribble up and tear things up and rip things up, that kind of feeling. So it's all different ways. The idea of the story is that it shows the children how they might feel, how they respond and react when they feel scared. But then what it does is it gives them strategies to cope with that and strategies to manage that. So through a variety of breathing techniques and mood monitoring and grounding strategies, it goes through each way of reacting to a scary situation, but a way of bringing us back and self-regulating. What's really good, I think, about the book is that if you manage to watch it with your child and you can do the activities with them, it just makes it part of them so that they can, if they see you doing it and they're doing it themselves, they won't feel self-conscious about it. They will just feel that when you get angry, for example, you can do a volcano breath, big breath in, arms up, and then there's all different ways for each to respond to each way they feel angry. And naming those reactions can be really helpful. So you can use the ones that are in the book, or the child might want to come up with their own names. See whatever they come up with. I hope you like the story. I hope the kids like the story, and I hope you get something from it. All right, well done, everyone. Keep going. See you soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. My name's Angie Sowton, and I work at Twerton as part of the therapeutic team with Miss Langan and Amy Tidswell and all the rest of your teachers as well. And we work with children who are having difficulties and finding school particularly tricky. But as we're all at home at the moment, we thought it might be nice to do a couple of stories and see how we get on, see if you'll enjoy them. So I'm going to do a story today about Alex. Alex is an alligator. You can see him up here in the corner. And Alex has had some scary things happen to him. And a lot of us can feel a bit scared at the moment, can't we? Because of coronavirus being around. And other things in our lives make us feel a bit scared. And what this book is about is how the scary things make Alex feel. And what he does, importantly, to make himself feel a bit better. So I'm going to do this story for you, and I'm also going to do a little video for mums or dads, people at home, to maybe how they can help you if you're a little bit scared about things at the moment. Okay, so let's start our story. My name is Alex. I'm 6 years old. I like to swing and dance and run and make silly faces. My favourite food is asparagus. Ooh, it's a funny favourite food. I think it's a green vegetable. I like to watch cartoons when I'm allowed, and I always win at bowling. I also love doing science experiments, and Miss Murphy, my teacher, lets me get as messy as I want. I have a stuffed alligator, and his name is Al. Now, I think if you watch every time we turn the page in our story, I think Al is on the page, so have a good look for Al every time we turn the page. Can you see him now? That's right, there he is, in the window of the pirate ship. Al and I go on all kinds of adventures. We pretend to be pirates. We create massive Lego battles, and we like to play hide and seek. I always find Al. We're trying to learn how to become invisible, but Al isn't very good at it. Al is the nicest stuffed alligator ever, and he always tries to make me happy. Usually it works, but sometimes it doesn't. I wonder if you've got a favourite toy. If you've got a favourite toy, or if there's a nice cushion nearby, something like that, why don't you pause the video, go and grab your favourite toy or your cushion, and come back and start the video again and cuddle with it together, okay? Some scary things have happened to me, and I try not to think about them. When I remember those things, I feel my heart beating really fast, and I jump every time I hear a loud noise. And sometimes I shut my eyes super tight, and I try really hard to make the memories disappear. I wish someone could keep me safe. I've learnt that I have lots of parts in me. One part of me loves going to school, and another part of me wants to stay outside and play all day. Some parts of me keep me safe when I think about the scary things. When I remember scary things, I become spacey. When I'm spacey, I go far away from the fear, so far away that I disappear into the sky. I fly by clouds and stars and airplanes and spaceships and the moon. My spacesuit keeps me warm and safe, and I'm not afraid of anything. I wonder if you do that sometimes. Sometimes when we're in class and we might stare out the window and we stop hearing what the teacher's saying and we stop hearing what our friends are saying and we just switch off and we get a bit spacey and we're not really concentrating, we're somewhere else. And that's sometimes what we do to look after ourselves when we're thinking of something that's frightening or something that scared us a little bit. Let's see what Al does. Sometimes when I'm spacey, I don't really know where I go. I can be sitting watching cartoons with Al and suddenly I become spacey. The next thing I know, the cartoon is over and I don't even know how it ended. So even when we're doing something we quite enjoy and we can be at home and we can be feeling okay and we can be watching something fun, sometimes we just switch off and get our spacey head on. Okay. Sometimes I don't want to become spacey. When I'm at school and I feel myself starting to fly away, I remember to play the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 game. Oh, this is how Alex helps himself. Listen to this. I think this is a good tip. I do this. Mrs. Sowton does this. If she gets a bit scared sometimes or feels a bit worried, I play this game. So I name 5 things that I can see in the room. So what does he name? Oh, see if you can spot them too. He sees the clock, the colourful flowers that we made to celebrate spring, the back of a raccoon's head, Ralphie the class robot, and a picture of all the letters in the alphabet. Can you see them in the book? Did you spot all of them? 5 things. So he names 5 things that he can see. And then he names 4 things that he can feel. So he's holding his pencil. So he feels his blue pencil. He feels his chair because he's sitting on it. He feels his toes wiggling in his trainers and the hard top of his desk. That's 4 things that he can feel. Then I name 3 things that I can hear. So what does he hear? So he hears the clock ticking, and his pen scribbling on his paper. And he can hear, oh, look, that little fly. There, look, do you see? Little fly and cat whispering to each other. Cat with a pink bow at the front. And then he names 2 things that he can smell. His rubber smells nice. He's got a nice smelly rubber. And it keeps in his desk. And the lunches that are kept in the closet where we hang our coats. And then last thing, so when he's down to 1, he's done 5 things he can see, 4 things he can feel, 3 things he can hear, 2 things he can smell, and then the last one, this is an important one, I name 1 good thing about myself. And he thinks, I can run really fast. And after I've done this, I don't have to be spacey. And I can listen to Miss Murphy when she reads stories aloud. I love listening to stories. So I wonder if you pause the video and see if you can play the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 game. Don't forget number 1, naming something that you're really good at or something that you like about yourself, okay? So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 good thing about you, okay? Try that now. Come back in a minute. How did you get on? Did you do it? I hope you did. It's a good game to practice. Sometimes the scary things make me feel so mad that I become the destroyer. When I'm the destroyer, I smash and I slam and I pound and I crash into things and sometimes other people. When I'm the destroyer, not even Al can calm me down. Oh no, look, there's Al behind him. Look, he's broken up all his blocks. He's really cross. He's really angry. His face has gone red. His eyes are shut tight. Oh! I think sometimes a lot of us can feel like that. And let's see what Alex does when he feels like the destroyer. Oh, look what Alex does. Let's have a look. And then the destroyer stops. So it doesn't carry on forever, does it? When we're angry and cross and we have a tantrum, we get really cross, it doesn't last forever. It'll stop. And when it stops, this is what Alex does. When it stops, I feel bad. When I'm the destroyer, my face turns red and my muscles are really tight. And when I stop, I like to lie down on the floor and practice breathing, like I'm smelling a flower, in through my nose, and then blowing out candles, put them far away from you. Whoosh, out through my mouth, in through my nose, smelling the flower, and then blowing out the candles. Whoosh. Can you practice breathing like that? Like you're smelling a flower and then blowing out, like you're trying to blow out all the candles on a cake. Okay, imagine you're really old and you've got lots of candles to blow out. Okay, breathe in the flower and then blow out the candles. Try it now. I'm not the only one in my class who can turn into the destroyer. Sometimes after lunch, Miss Murphy has the whole class do yoga to help us calm down. My favourite thing to do is tree. Miss Murphy tells us to stand on one leg and balance on the other with our thigh on our other leg. It's fun trying to balance, and then Miss Murphy asks us to raise our arms up and pretend they are branches swaying in the breeze. That's tricky to do. So before you do that one, before you practice that one, make sure you're in a safe place. Make sure you've got nothing around that you could fall into, because sometimes you do fall over when you do this. Mrs. Sowton has fallen over when she stood on one leg and tried to be a tree. So move the things out of the way and have a go at that one. Oh, what does Alex say? Sometimes this makes us lose our balance, but we just try again. Mainly we try not to fall into other trees. Okay, so that's a good one. So you try that one now and pause the video and then see how you get on, okay? Sometimes I feel so sad, my arms and my legs feel very heavy and my heart hurts and I don't want to get out of bed or go to school or even play with Al. And that's when I become Puddles. When I'm Puddles, I cry and cry, and sometimes I know why, but sometimes I don't. Oh, look, Alex feels really sad. So sometimes he feels really sad. It makes him so sad he cries a lot. Sometimes he feels like the destroyer, and sometimes he feels all spacey. Okay? What does he do when he feels like Puddles? When I'm Puddles, I sit in my super secret safe space where there are soft and snuggly blankets and lots of fluffy pillows that make me feel like I'm cuddling up in a cloud. Al always comes to my super secret safe space. He knows that Puddles needs to cry until there aren't any more tears, and then he starts making funny faces at me and tells me jokes, and I start to laugh and tell my own jokes. And Puddles goes away. So that's a good one. If we're feeling really sad, we can make a nice den, a nice little safe space. Maybe it's in our bedroom, or maybe it's somewhere warm and cozy, like behind a sofa. Get as many blankets and pillows to make yourself feel warm and snuggly. And then he tries to think of some funny things. He tries to think of some jokes. And the book says, do you know any jokes? I wonder if you know some jokes that would make you giggle and cheer you up when you feel sad. If you're not sure of any, maybe you could ask somebody at home, see if they know any good jokes they could tell you that might help you. Let's turn over. Sometimes on the playground or in the classroom, other kids yell and run and everything seems too fast and it feels like scary things are happening even though they aren't, and my tummy feels a bit tumbly and my brain is a bit bumbly, and when that happens I become Jumbles. I don't really know what's going on. I get confused when I'm playing hide and seek, and you know how good I am at hide and seek, says Alex. Well, I think we've all felt a bit like that sometimes. Sometimes if we're in the playground and it's very noisy, or sometimes if we're in the lunch hall and it's very noisy, it can make us want to put our hands over our ears and not listen to it anymore, can't it? And Alex calls that Jumbles, because his brain feels all jumbly and his head feels all jumbly and his heart is beating and his tummy might feel a bit funny too. Okay, let's see what he does when he feels like Jumbles. When I'm Jumbles with a tumbly tummy and a bumbly brain, I remember to breathe like a volcano. I breathe in through my nose and bring my arms up, so. And then, what does he do? He erupts like a volcano. And all my breath comes out and my arms come down, boom. And then I squeeze my muscles, so squeeze your fist like that, tight next to you, stiff and tight, stiff and tight. And then when I let them go, I go all floppy, like cooked spaghetti. When I'm all noodly, I like to do a wiggly dance, and my friends like to dance with me, and we laugh together, and my tummy stops being tumbly, and my brain isn't so bumbly anymore. So I wonder if you can do that one. So first one, if we feel a bit Jumbles, feel like Jumbles and everything's a bit too much, he breathes in through his nose and he brings his arms up, and then he erupts like a volcano and brings them down, and squeeze everything tight, squeeze it all tight, tight, tight. Look at Miss Sowton's face going all red. And then let go and go all noodly and floppy. So see if you can do a spaghetti floppy wiggly dance for me. Pause the video and then we'll turn over. Sometimes grown-ups ask me to talk about the scary things, and I don't always like talking. Sometimes I don't even know what to say. I start to feel like hiding or running away, and then I become Scribbles. When I'm Scribbles, I paint all the colours swirling around. I add stickers and glitter and pipe cleaners and tape and ribbons. Scribbles uses everything. Scribbles often leaves me with art projects that need to dry overnight, and I usually feel better. So, Scribbles. Scribbles is a really good one. We don't need all those things that he has, though. It can be nice to have all those, the paints and the ribbons and all those things. But if we don't, even a pencil, if we've got a pencil at home or a pen at home and a piece of paper, we can scribble, 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 and scribble, scribble, scribble. And scribbling can make us feel like breathing out and can make us feel a bit better. Because sometimes we don't want to talk about it, sometimes we can scribble it and we can feel that can get our feelings out instead. Or we might want to draw a picture to explain how we're feeling. We might not want to scribble, scribble, scribble. We might want to draw it. And we might want to show that to that adult who's asking us how we're feeling. And that might help us too. Let's see what's next. Most of the time, I am Alex. And when I'm Alex, I feel calm and capable and curious and creative and kind. And I finish all my work at school and I think of super fun games to play with my friends, and I let Al win whenever we go bowling. So when you're you, when you're not feeling scared or you're not feeling worried, what are you like? What is nice about you? What do you like most about you? What do you like to do? What are the fun things? Who do you like to be with? Have a think about that, because that also will make us feel a bit better. When I remember scary things, different parts of me keep me safe. Sometimes I need Spacey, the Destroyer, Puddles, Jumbles, and Scribbles. And sometimes I don't. I'm learning to tell the difference, well, most of the time. Other times, safe grown-ups help me understand the different parts of me. And I love all my parts, and my parts love me. They help me when I need them and usually listen to me when I ask them to stay away. Scary things will always be scary, but Spacey, the Destroyer, Puddles, Jumbles and Scribbles will try to keep me safe. So I want you to have a think now. What parts of Alex do you recognise? Spacey, the Destroyer, Puddles, Jumbles and Scribbles. Which ones are like you? When you feel scared or worried, do you do all of them? Do you do one of them? Or do you do something different? Have a think, because it's important for us to be able to know when we're upset and worried, how do we react to it? Because when we know that, we can use different ways, like the breathing or the yoga or scribbles. We can use different ways or finding a nice safe space. And that's the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed telling it to you. I'm hoping I put another little video about Alex and the scary things up for mums and dads and people at home. And maybe they'd like to find out a little bit more about other ways that Alex helped himself and how maybe nice, safe adults can help their little Alexes feel nice and safe. All right, hope you enjoyed it. See you soon for another story. Bye.